All right, sorry guys for the confusion with the tech. I was trying to get everything streaming on OBS, but for some reason it wasn't allowing me to share like a specific portion of my screen. It would just share the backdrop. But anyways, let's dive into it. So basically, I just wanted to start with a general overview of what Matic is. I know most of you are pretty familiar with it, but the thing that really makes Matic unique is it's the only layer 2 solution that is like a general purpose layer 2, meaning that it really recreates the developer experience from Ethereum on the second layer. So in other words, it's account based. So any game smart contracts or just decentralized applications that you make on Ethereum, you can easily port them over to Matic and enjoy the faster transaction times, cheaper transactions, and a plethora of other additional features that allow you to optimize end user experience. So one of these I'll go into more detail today. That includes some code from EIP 712. Basically, it's what enables meta transactions, but yeah, I'll get into that a little bit more later in my presentation. But yeah, overall, Matic is an account-based layer 2 solution that uses the Plasma framework for security and proof-of-stake validators to create a virtual machine on the second layer. So as a just general overview, it's much more scalable than Ethereum. 16,000 transactions per second theoretically on a single sidechain. You know, they plan on rolling out multiple sidechains in the future. Like I said before, user experience is smoother because you're able to connect with certain wallets and enable meta transactions. And then yeah, security is done with proof of stake in Plasma, and it's public. So yeah, for us specifically at Central Games, we realized that a lot of casino on-chain casino applications that enjoy the non-custodial nature of cryptocurrencies had poor user experience because of the signatures during gameplay. So like obviously signing a MetaMask pop-up every single time you play. For us, a game, specific, if there's many games within a game, then it gets pretty tedious. Waiting for confirmations on chain for 15 to 20 seconds is really slow and tedious as well. And then obviously the gas cost, which has been exacerbated recently, it makes it pretty unusable to just build games on the Ethereum main chain. So as you can see, Matic is extremely necessary nowadays. Yeah, and compared to the main chain, yeah, instant transactions on mass block bet free game transactions, 16,000 transactions per second, and all while maintaining decentralized custody. So basically, the way it works is you're able to deposit crypto assets from Matic, from Ethereum to Matic, and so this process can be done by the user, it can be done by the developer of the application, and then pass on to the user directly. It really depends on what you want your user experience of your application to be. But I'm just from a general overview standpoint of depositing assets. You deposit assets from the Ethereum main chain. It takes 2 transactions, one pre-authorization transaction and then a deposit transaction. And then once the tokens are mirrored on the Matic chain and locked up on the main chain, then they're instantly like free to transact with dApps on Matic or send to another address on Matic, whatever the users please. Obviously, it's in their custody. Let's see. Yeah, they have 1 second to 2 second block times. So you know the finality of transactions is near instant. So you're able to create applications that rival like centralized application user experience. In terms of consensus, yeah, it's just a proof of stake. So I actually just set up a Matic node last week, and it's finally live on the mainnet. But basically, the way it works is you just have to set up on a dedicated server, or you can set it up on a cloud server. But we set up ours on a dedicated server, And basically the block producers commit a Merkle route to the main chain every n checkpoints, and then obviously all the validators are getting paid out with Matic coins as a reward. Okay, anyways, let's get started. So like I said before, if you have any Ethereum development experience, then you're already a Matic developer. You can develop Matic smart contracts using Truffle, Remix, Web3.js. We prefer to use Remix. And yeah, basically you can deploy to the Matic testnet, which is called Mumbai, and which interacts with the Go Early testnet. So recently, when we've been testing our games, we're using tokens from Go Early. It's an Ethereum testnet, and they have various bridges between Go Early and Mumbai. So you can instantly test deposits, withdrawals, and then obviously like the in-game transactions on the Mumbai testnet. I just kind of took a few instructions out of the Matic network docs page. So basically I'd say like if you're trying to get started with Matic, just go to Matic networks documentation, but essentially like you just develop the contracts just like you would with regular contracts. It really just differs in how you interact with them in the client. So obviously if you're trying to interact with a Matic contract, then you need to set your Web3 constructor to the Matic provider. But yeah, anyways, I would say what I really want to go into during this presentation is how to set up Matic in Biconomy. So basically, on a high level, the reason why Matic is kind of a little bit difficult to integrate into your scene right now is because there's a lot of friction between the main chain and the Matic chain. And so if you want your users to be transacting on the Matic chain, then in the past, they would have to change their RPC and create a custom one on MetaMask, and which is really tedious and just a really poor user experience. And also, not to mention that Decentraland doesn't even allow you to do this because once you change the RPC to a custom one, then it gives you an error message and tells you to change the RPC back to the main chain. So something like Biconomy is super important for developing using Matic in Decentraland because it allows you to sign your users to sign transactions on the main chain that interact with a contract on the Matic chain. So basically the way it works, and then also what Biconomy does is it allows you to create a proxy contract, which allows you to pay gas on behalf of your users. So the end user experience is a MetaMask pop-up where your users can sign from the main chain, and then on the back end, you would be paying the gas on behalf of your users, and then it would transact on the Matic chain. So obviously it would be fast. So I think that user experience is much better than requiring your users to sign a transaction, wait 20 seconds and pay gas. Instead of that, you can have them sign a transaction, wait 1 to 2 seconds, and you pay gas on behalf of them. So it's much better user experience. So get started with Biconomy. You can basically take the Matic contract that you wrote for your whatever game or application that you want to develop, and then you just need to add methods from EIP 712 contract, which essentially just allows you to conduct meta transactions, so to pay gas using a proxy smart contract. And then you can just add the smart contract to the Biconomy dashboard by specifying the name, address, and ABI file. And you can find the Biconomy dashboard by just visiting the Biconomy website. I think it's biconomy.io. I think I included it at the end of this presentation. I have some links for resources. But then once you add the contract to the Biconomy dashboard, then you can interact with the contract from the mainnet. Here's a code snippet on kind of how to do that. And then when you make the call to execute the meta transaction function, you pass a function signature that contains the method that you want to call in the smart contract. So for example, if there's a method to like open a door or purchase something like an NFT, then you would include that method as well. So yeah, that's basically it. I think for you to get a really good idea of Biconomy, it would just be good to just check out their dashboard and mess around with it, deploy some smart contracts to Matic, integrate it with the Biconomy using the EIP 712 methods, and then just mess around with it. I mean, you could start with something very simple if you want, and then obviously you know, add more functionality after. But I think the main kind of issue with Matic right now, and kind of getting people onboarded to Matic, is the friction, like I said before, from the main chain to Matic and back to the main chain. And it really requires a lot of work and time, I would say, to move assets from that are already existing on one chain like Ethereum to Matic. I know Peter D kind of said, like, you know, why doesn't the Decentraland marketplace move to Matic? And obviously, like, you know, it would be awesome, but then there's some caveats, obviously, with doing that. You'd have to pretty much deposit every single NFT and every single ERC20, or mostly just NFTs, I suppose, to start off with. But you'd have to deposit every single NFT to Matic, which costs gas on the main chain. So that would be really expensive because all the assets are already on the main chain. And then for users to transact with those and purchase and buy and sell those NFTs on Matic, then they now need to move all of their mana or Ethereum or whatever they're using to buy and sell the NFTs onto Matic as well. And so that requires gas and you know, a couple minute wait period for those assets all to be deposited into the deposit contract and then created on the Matic sidechain. So that's the friction I was kind of saying and talking about earlier. For us, you know, we're trying to tackle this at Decentral Games by having our users go to our site and use the Matic widgets. I'll give you guys like a general demo of what that looks like. Let's see. Hopefully you can see my screen. Let's see. All right, so basically the Matic widgets are here. So basically, we're trying to streamline the process of getting assets on Matic. And to do that, we give our users two options. We give them the option to deposit from MetaMask. So for example, if they have mana in their MetaMask wallet, then on the main chain, then they're able to deposit that mana to the Matic sidechain. And you can use the Matic widget to do this. I've included the link to the Matic widgets at the end of my presentation, but basically Matic has created these widgets. Let me switch to Gwirly 1 second. Matic has created these web widgets that through using iframe that allow you to integrate them directly to your site. So if you want your users on your site to move some assets over, then it looks like this. Say I want to move over like 100 of this ERC20, then you have to sign 2 transactions, one to approve, and then one more to deposit. And it takes, obviously, this is a main chain transaction, so it takes quite a bit compared to the Matic transactions. But this is one way of doing the onboard, and then this I'll make you guys wait. So obviously it takes a bit, But and then there's another way, and this is a way that I think that a lot of people should really look into, just because this first way that I'm showing you right now with the Matic widgets kind of requires users. Oh, here it is. Sign for this. This first way requires users to already have crypto and in their MetaMask, which is good, obviously, if you want to appeal to just like the general user, like in Decentraland, early adopter of Decentraland that already has crypto and mana and everything. But for us, I mean, we're really looking to appeal to the layperson that doesn't really have crypto. And to do that, you can't really require them to buy mana on an exchange and then like transfer it to MetaMask and then deposit to Matic. Because also, you know, to deposit to Matic from the main chain, if you wanted to deposit some mana, you'd also have to pay the gas on Ethereum. So that the user to go through this process has to have both mana and Ethereum. So like that just kind of cuts down your potential user base like by 99%. So yeah. Anyways, this is what it looks like after you deposit. After 2 or 3 minutes, then the assets from the main chain will be viewable on the Matic chain. But anyways, that's one means of onboard. But the other one is the Fiat on ramps. So I had a slide on this. Let's see. Yeah, Fiat on ramps. We did this. So yeah, Fiat on ramps. One of them that we've been working with really closely recently is called Transact. And the reason is of all of the Fiat on ramps, I think there's like a few pretty major ones nowadays that allow you to integrate their widget right into your site. I know like MoonPay is one, Wire is one. And then, but Transact is kind of one of the smaller teams that's working on this. But the reason why we've integrated them specifically into our site is because they have support for mana on Matic already. So by integrating Transact as a Fiat on ramp for a Matic mana, we're pretty much just like eliminating like a lot of these like steps for these initial users that are pretty tedious and take time and gas on Ethereum. So basically what this looks like to an end user is they're able to say, like, go to our website, add tokens to play, and then purchase with debit card. And then it loads the Transact widget that looks pretty much similar to the Matic one. And then they can just buy. Right now they don't have, so this is main chain mana, but in the future, I've been talking with the founders of Transact and to get them to support the Matic coins directly. But basically, they said that next week they'll be able to roll out Matic mana for Fiat purchases. So right here, like, so say if someone wanted to play our games, they wanted to buy like 100 euros of Matic mana, it would calculate the rate, then they could pay with the debit card, and then they buy now, and then it would take them to a purchase page where they'd fill out the information. And the reason why this is really important, I think, for people that are developing on Matic and that use mana on Matic or NFTs on Matic or whatever on Matic, is it allows you to onboard people that don't necessarily have any cryptocurrency like on the main chain. So in this case of user onboard, they can purchase the Matic mana directly. And then this coupled with the fact that you're paying gas on behalf of your users and they don't have to deposit the mana to Matic, that allows you to have your users never even have to worry about gas, which is huge. So basically the user experience on their end is they just come to your site, they use their debit card to purchase Matic mana, and then they're able to go to your, for in our case, like our casino, and then they're able to play games directly with the Matic coins, and you, because you integrated Economy and meta transactions, you're able to just pay gas on behalf of all your users. So at the end of the day, like this is a much cleaner onboard, and allows us to really kind of widen our scope for our potential user base, because we're not limited anymore to people that only already know how to use MetaMask and already have Mana and Ethereum in their wallet. So then their Mana shows up in here, and then they're able to just kind of walk in, and you can just play a game directly. Let's see. Yeah. So I think overall, like this is a much better, like much cleaner user experience. And then in our case, we actually also included pre-authorization transaction. So we basically have the user pre-sign for a specific amount of time. And right now we have it set for 12 hours, but basically they have to reauthorize every 12 hours. But once they authorize our game contract to transact with their Matic Mana, then they don't have to sign every time they want to play the game. So like, for example, like the gameplay like this is just seamless, because there's no MetaMask pop-up every time. It's just basically a Biconomy meta transaction every time they play that pays gas on behalf of the user and transacts with their Matic Mana directly. Let's see. So yeah, anyways, overall, the fiat on-ramps, I think anyone that's building on Matic and using Mana on Matic, you should definitely look into Transact, because they're going to have the ability to have your users just buy the Matic Mana directly, so that you don't have to even worry about like depositing to and from the main chain. But also, you should definitely look at the Matic widgets though, because you want to obviously cater to those users too. So overall, I think it's good to have both options here, like deposit from MetaMask, purchase with debit card. But yeah, I think that pretty much sums up my presentation. I wanted to cover kind of these three main areas: the developing on Matic, the Biconomy meta transactions, and the Transact fiat on ramps. I think these three pillars are all very essential together if you're building on Matic, and each of one of these websites, that I included here have very, very solid tutorials to get you started. And yeah, I think if you haven't already, I would say definitely check them out and just dive in and start, messing around with it and integrating it to your scene. So thanks for attending my presentation. I'm sorry for the difficulties, but let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm going to hop back into the scene. Feel free to shoot me any questions or not. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.